Welcome to Balls and Strikes with Jim Logan.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Jim Logan here from East Brunswick. A good friend of mine, Rob Wilson, was telling me about these crazy people at Eyes on EB, and they suggested that I might be interested in talking about a couple of things that are near and dear to my heart here in East Brunswick. So today I thought I'd spend a few minutes and just give you my perspective on the East Brunswick Baseball and Softball League, the number of years I was involved in it, the passion I had for it, and some great things that maybe people don't know about that the young men and women in East Brunswick can take advantage of. And the other thing that's near and dear to my heart is a topic that I see a lot on social media in East Brunswick, happens to be the feral cat situation and the TNR program that there are a lot of champions from. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be getting as much of a groundswell. So today we'll start with that. I'm very happy to be here at Eyes on EB. And if you stick around long enough, I do have a couple of closing comments on the current board slate for the BOE that's coming up in a few weeks. So first, let me tell you, I've lived in East Brunswick for almost 23 years now. Not a lifelong resident, but certainly have been around long enough to see my share of the good and the bad. And as you could appreciate, there's a hell of a lot more good than there is bad. That's the important thing to know. It's a great township, a lot of great friends that I've had the privilege of making over the years. And a lot of those friends and a lot of those relationships actually have come from the East Brunswick Baseball and Softball League. So I've been involved with that league now for going on 12 years. And it's amazing to me how much time just evaporates, how quickly it evaporates. But over the course of those 12 years, I had been privileged to do everything and anything, right? So it was sort of like a bootstrap, grounds up situation. I had been just an individual helper and volunteer, working on fields is how I started out. And then I got involved with their T-ball program when my youngest son at the time wanted to start playing baseball and learn how to play baseball. So I became a coach. And, I have great memories growing up as a child myself back in Staten Island from my mom and dad, taking me to Little League and my dad getting involved with coaching and even umpiring. And so I've been a baseball guy all my life. I watch it, I play it, I've coached it, I've actually administered. From the league's perspective, I was the president for a number of years. I was the general manager for a number of years. And like I said, some really, really deep friendships that, I couldn't be more proud of. The people that I've met, many of the children that I've met are now young adults in high school. And it's always a great feeling when you walk through a supermarket or you're in the mall and somebody says, "Hey, Coach Jim," right? To still be remembered as Coach Jim and have someone who's like 18 years old now, who you coached when they were 6, 7, 8 years old, sort of go out of their way to say hello and say, "Hey, Coach Jim." It's a special feeling. So if you're not aware of the East Brunswick Baseball and Softball League, there's a couple things you could do. First, it's right across from Crystal Springs on Dunham's Corner Road. We're in the fall ball season right now down there, and it wraps up in a short few weeks. But the spring and the summer are absolutely fantastic at EBBL. The current group of folks that are running that league are fantastic. They know baseball, they know softball, they love the kids, everybody's heart's in it for the right reason. So you can look at their website, it's EBBL.org. That's one thing you can do. They've got a great social media presence as well on Facebook. I believe it's East Brunswick Baseball and Softball is the page you could like and follow on Facebook. And they're getting ready to open registration for the spring. So it's a great activity, right? Everybody doesn't have to play travel, right? You hear a lot about the levels of investment and the money that's spent on equipment, the amount of time that's involved, taking away from vacations. Yes, to a degree that's true if it's the travel program. But the real genesis of the league is just rec baseball and rec softball. It's 1 or 2 days a week. It's a couple of hours. It's not a huge commitment. Largely, it doesn't take place on the weekends if it's rec. And it's just a great outdoor activity to get children exposed to sports. So I'd certainly recommend taking a look at that. Next thing, just to transition here, I'd love to talk about the TNR program. So there are some really, really dedicated people in the East Brunswick community. I'm not going to necessarily mention their names right now, but you could easily find them on Facebook and the pages as well. I know they've brought this up at some town council meetings over the last few months, trying to get support to formally institute a TNR, which stands for Trap and Release. And so depending upon where you live in our community, people that have property that maybe abuts a common land or that they have a huge backyard, you'll notice, particularly in the spring and the early fall, those are the peak times when feral cats have litters of kittens. And the challenge that you have is if you don't find a way to help get these animals neutered and spayed, the cycle just continues. And it happens every spring and every early fall. And these animals suffer, right? Because they don't have access to food and water, certainly not the way that they should. And you just continue to turn over the population. So I'm a very big proponent of the TNR program. I've fostered cats for friends in the community in the past as well. And if you are a friend of mine right now or you follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm a lunatic when it comes to cats. I have my own 6 or 7 outdoor cats who religiously come up to me every morning and every evening. They hang out on our deck. I feed them. We've named them. We pet them. It's pretty cool. At least I think so. There's just as many people who tell me I'm out of my mind for doing that. But it's something, I really believe that if you take care of an animal, a stray animal, you're sort of giving back to your soul as well. It's something that really makes an impact in one's life. It's a little editorial comment from Jim Logan. But it is an important program. And many other townships, Monroe, a lot of them in Ocean County, they have established, funded TNR programs, and it helps in a number of ways. So I would encourage you, if you have some free time, if you're interested, there's a number of shelters in the area between East Brunswick and Monroe as well. They're always looking for help. It doesn't have to be an economic impact of help. It could be stopping down for half an hour to help, distribute some food, or stopping down for half an hour to help just talk to the animals, clean up some of the cages. We're always looking for people to help in that regard as well. And before I get to the BOE, I'll just circle back to the baseball topic. One of the things that I've now become involved with over the last 5 years, and I can't believe again that it's already 5 years, is umpiring and officiating baseball games. I've really taken this up as a pastime and a passion. It's also a great way to make residual income. Which everybody could always use in this particular day and age, right? So in the 5 years that I've been doing this, I started out just doing rec baseball and softball. I quickly took a number of courses and just sort of, always wanted to improve upon my skill set. And I've now done everything from varsity baseball in high school all the way back down to, 6, 7-year-old rec baseball and softball. It's really a great way to stay active. Make some money on the side. It's good exercise. You're outdoors. And just like the TNR program, we never have enough quality people, both men and women, who want to be involved in umpiring softball and baseball. So if you have any interest whatsoever in getting involved with that, and if you'd like to hear a little bit more about how you can make some nice side change in doing that. So if you are interested at all in hearing anything more about TNR and how you can help with the feral cat population in East Brunswick, or if you are interested in learning more about how you could become a baseball or softball umpire, please feel free to reach out to me. You could reach me at 732-554-7047, text, phone call, whatever works for you. Always happy to discuss. So the last topic I'll touch on is the current Board of Education election that's coming up. Listen, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of opinion out there. No one wants to hear about negativity. No one wants to talk negatively about anyone in this community. I think at the end of the day, we all, as parents, with an investment in the school system, you need to just take some time to step away from the noise and look at the facts. Take some time to step away from the noise and just consider what is really the underlying issue. What is the position that any of the candidates on these slates have? And if you haven't been able to go to any of the Board of Education meetings, all those meetings and the minutes from which they're published out on social media, you can go back and review the last several Board of Education meetings. You can look at the various Facebook pages and social media pages that talk about the candidate's background, what their position is on certain issues, why he or she feels they're the best person for the job. And at the end of the day, unlike national politics, we're talking about our children and we're talking about our community. And so it is very, very important to understand the answers to those questions, to separate the noise from the politics, separate the fact from the fiction, and really understand where your vote should be best cast. So the person that I know the best on an interpersonal level and on a friendship level is Dr. Lou Figueroa. I can't say enough good things about the man, his family. Integrity is always the first word that comes to mind when I think about Lou. So personally, that's where my vote's going. But there are a lot of quality people out there, and I just thought, since I had this, few minutes to talk about it, I wanted to share my thoughts on Dr. Lou, and I really think he's certainly someone that should be on that board of voting for this new slate in a few weeks' time. So this is my first foray into helping Eyes on EB. I really enjoyed it. I hope you found some interest in one or two or three of the topics I touched upon, and look forward to hearing from some of you soon. Have a great day, everybody.